We're doing a series of vlogs looking at where we're at and where we're going after 3 years of off-grid permaculture homesteading.
So Joshy, where are we at with the chickens right now?
Well, we've been having quite a few broody hens. Most of the time we've been having our chickens in a main crop area, preparing it.
So mainly the biggest amount of chickens have been over here.
And then we've been putting a few back here, scratching up some of the cow pies.
In that coop right there. Okay.
Because we've been having fly problems. They've been laying their eggs in the cow poop. So we put them in there to scratch that all up.
Uh-huh.
So that's most of what's going on.
And there's chickens like all over the place, isn't there?
Yeah. Everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay, so what are some major lessons that you've learned? Now you've been doing chickens for about 3 years now. And you've had major responsibility, right? The most major responsibility for the chickens for about 3 years.
Yeah.
So what are some big lessons you've learned?
Well, we've learned to make nesting boxes that go in and out. That's a really good thing to do because we've been having problems with broody hens going in the nesting boxes, and right when we move them where we want them, they decide not to go broody anymore. They like to be in their spots, but if we made movable nesting boxes, we could just take the nesting box and put them there, so that would work much better. And also either make movable coops, move them, or a good setup to muck them out, get them all cleaned up, they get pooped. And also make sure you know what the capabilities of your chickens are, because we got this tall fencing, our chickens just fly right over it. So make sure you get proper fencing for what your chickens can do.
Yeah, a good few of them. They just fly up, land right on top of it, and then just hop over, right?
Yep.
Let me see, what are some other big lessons that we've learned?
Well, make sure you know the place where you're buying your chickens to make sure a ton of casualties don't happen. Dead ones and sick ones and unhealthy ones.
Yeah. So, if we had the ideal setup, what would that look like? So where are we going with the chickens? Okay, so where we're going with the chickens is we'll put a link on our permaculture design. That's going to be up there. And that will show the paddocks that we're going to be putting in and whatnot. We're going to planning on building movable coops. So even in those smaller paddocks, we can move the coops around so that all the nutrient that they drop gets spread out, and we won't have to muck out the coops then. And the plan is to have 4 separate flocks, and then from those 4 flocks every year pull out and make a new flock. So we actually will have 5 flocks every year, rotating. And so the oldest flock, we will cull that one every year after we pull all the chicks that we want from it to make the new flock. So that's our idea of where we're going. Josh has been doing just a fantastic job with the chickens. He is very attentive to his flock. It's really cool. He's doing a really good job. So this is one of the chicks. What did its mommy do?
Well, she got stressed out and she decided that she didn't want to be a mother anymore, so she went back with the other chickens.
So she just abandoned her chick. She sat on this, she hatched it out, she raised it for, how long did she raise it?
A little while.
A couple, 2-3 weeks, maybe. And then she just decided she didn't want to be a mommy anymore. She went back with the major flock and just left her chick.
Yep.
All right, Nathan, so you've been taking care of the geese for like 2 years, huh?
Yeah.
And this year was the first year that we had any geese that actually hatched out their own goslings, huh?
Yeah.
So they sat and hatched them out themselves. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we at right now with the geese?
Well, we had to clean them up because they were going out to the neighbor's garden and they were damaging the garden.
Yep.
So we had
There
to
you go.
clean them up.
So then we had to pen them up, and we penned them up right here. It's the fence, and actually there's a video on that that my wife did when I was gone, when they had to roll this fence out and pen them up. And so we'll put a link to that up there. And so what are you having to do to take care of the geese right now?
Oh, I have to bring them water and food.
You have to bring the water and food. Sometimes you're cutting comfrey for them, and sometimes it's just the layer feed that we feed the chickens, the non-GMO layer feed stuff. So right now it's kind of a pain, huh, having them in here.
Yeah.
Way better when they're roaming because they could get their own water, they can get almost all their own food. They could get all their own food. So what are some major lessons you've learned about the geese since you've been taking care of them?
Well, if you have goslings, you need to give them a bunch of shade and plenty of water.
Yes.
So we had 3 goslings. We put in a cage and they died by heat stroke.
They were only caged up in this cage, this very cage. They were caged up for like 30 minutes and they died like that. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We had no idea that could happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a major lesson we learned, huh? What's another big lesson you've learned about the geese? Fencing.
And a good water source.
Fencing and water source, huh?
And also plenty of grass.
Yep. Good grace for them.
So the geese like a pond.
Yeah, the geese do like to take a dip. It's not as important to them to take a dip, but they do like it. So, if you want to have happy geese, have a spot where they can take a dip. And where we're going with the geese is that we're going to put the geese on at least the main pasture. Once we get that fenced off properly, we'll put the geese there on the main pasture. And I'm also thinking about separating the geese out into 3 different little flocks. So trios, 3 different trios. So a male and 2 females. I'm thinking about putting 1 trio in where we're going to put the ducks, and 1 trio in with some of the chickens, where they will have ponds at all 3 places. They'll have ponds. And I'm thinking that the geese might help protect the ducks and might help protect the chickens, because they're a very intimidating bird. So that's one of the things we're thinking about. Do you think that's a good idea, Nathan?
Yeah.
To separate them up into trios and to put them in those different flocks with the chickens and with the ducks?
I think that's a good idea.
Do you?
Because
We just might try that.
especially if the geese follow ducks around, because we've had a bunch of ducks die by just dogs. I'm sure the dog wouldn't want to attack the ducks as much as those geese.
So, hey, any of you have any suggestions on that, or comments or experience? Let us know. We'd love to hear about it in the comment section about putting the geese in like that. Anything else you'd like to say?
I think it's covered.
Do you think it's covered? I think it's covered too. So that's the geese on the homestead. All right, Scooter. How long have you been taking care of ducks?
About 3 years now.
About 3 years. And what's going on with the ducks right now?
We have 14 ducks total, and we've been having to cage them up at night because we close them at night because they were being attacked by dogs and other animals. So we've been caging them up to keep them safe. And these ones here, one of the ducklings actually got injured a little while ago. That one there, I don't know if you can see, not the black one, it's the one that's all kind of gray, yellow.
Got
And-
attacked on its backside, huh?
Yeah, got attacked. Don't know what by, but on its back, torn up a bit. So just been keeping them in here.
So that's where we're at with the ducks right now.
Mhm.
So we have 3 ducklings. Are there some ducks sitting on eggs?
Yeah, we have, I think about 2 to 3 ducks sitting.
Is this the first year that the ducks hatched out their own?
Yes, it is.
What happened last year? Who hatched out ducks?
Chickens and geese. No ducks.
Yeah, no ducks. So here's the two ducks that are sitting. They made themselves some really nice nests there. Hunkered down. Hopefully gonna hatch out some ducklings. Here's Caleb's flock, his main flock. Look at these pretty birds. We found the ducks to be our favorite here on the homestead just because of their character. They are filled with character. Really fun and cute to watch. So what are some big lessons we learned about the ducks?
Well, needing to protect them at night, particularly at night, because they're just vulnerable to predators.
They're vulnerable to predators?
Yes, and they like to wander in our creek. In creeks, if there's water, they really like to go far.
Yeah, they'll go way up and down the creek, huh?
Yeah.
Really far. Any other major lessons you learned?
You got the power.
What you got there, Creator?
The power.
A power?
Yeah.
Look at that power. Alright, so where are we going in the future with the ducks?
Well, we hope to have another area set up for them up there. The duck pond swale system for them.
Duck pond swale system for them?
Yeah.
Where we want to put an island in the middle of the pond?
We do that on our permaculture design vlog.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is there anything different is there anything you want to change about how you take care of them?
well, having water for them, always having water for them, so you're not having to haul water to them, because they use a lot of water.
It's a big deal, isn't it? Especially for the ducks. Thank you, Scooter.
Welcome.
You're doing an awesome job. Love you.
Love you too.
Another couple things that we learned about birds on the homestead that's a big deal is we've already mentioned protection, fencing, but being able to move them. You don't want them to be in an area where they're locked into having to be in that area over a long period of time. You want to be able to give them fresh grass often. So that's a big deal, being able to move them. Mobile coops, being able to move their paddocks all together. So from one paddock to another is a great idea. This will conclude our Birds on the Homestead Sharing Our Journey series. Thank you for joining us on this journey. It's our privilege and pleasure to be able to do these vlogs, and I hope it encourages you somehow, and hopefully the lessons we've learned, some of the hard lessons that we've learned, will help you not make the same mistakes as we've made here with our birds. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And sharing is awesome. Thank you very much. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful day. So where are we at with the geese?
I don't know what to say, Dad. We have to bring. Oh, I.